You know we're talking about all Call of Duty this time, right?
Oh my god, I'm leaving.
No. The amount of times that I've specified we're talking about Call of Duty in the past week.
You never told me directly.
Wait, what's Call of Duty? Is that a game?
It's when the government tells you to go to war and you have to.
It's when you really have to take a shit and you're just called into the bathroom.
Okay.
That's Call of Duty.
Yeah, like I said. We're talking about different shit.
OOTY instead of UTY?
Yeah.
Talking about Heroes Duty.
Disgusting. Okay. So, I guess we can start this off with a good introduction topic to this Call of Duty podcast. I've got, basically, if you want, you don't have to, want to go over everybody's thoughts on Call of Duty as of right now, and maybe their previous thoughts and how their thoughts of it have developed through the years of it coming out every year. And like how if you have anything interesting to say about how you got into it, you can do that too. So I guess I'll start with, I played it on the Wii, and then I managed to get to the PS3, and then I kept playing it on the PS3. That was
Played it on the Wii?
Yeah, I did.
Like, really?
Yeah, that's how I got into. I was like number 7 worldwide ranked. I was pretty awesome.
Out of like the 30 people
No.
on the Wii.
I was going to say, out of
No.
the 8 people playing.
No, there was thousands, not millions. Like
6 people playing.
no, seriously, get out of here. I was also like I was actually like the one of the main 3 players of the top ranked Game Battles team at the time, but we kind of did play a lot of bad teams.
So
But
kind of a big
we
deal,
were number
basically.
1 at that point. Anyways, whatever. So I just got into it through the Wii and then went to PS3. That was World at War. I didn't start on Call of Duty 4 like a lot of people did. And basically what I think of it right now is that I've just grown tired of it. And it seems to be the thing with a lot of people where you play the new one for a couple months, then you get bored and you go back to the old one. And I just didn't want to keep doing that, and I was like, I'll just play other stuff. Just I don't need to keep supporting this. I don't want to buy the next one, but I have a feeling somehow it's going to happen. But
Is that the way that everyone's going, though? Is it just, I mean, not just, anyone in this room, but the majority of people, like on YouTube, the YouTubers, where you see them just like shying away from going Black Ops now, and they're playing other games, so it's not just a group of people, it's like a large amount of people now.
Well, what happened was, like, Call of Duty became like the first big YouTube like game sensation, and a lot of people, like the very first commentators, grew up on that, and they've been doing it for years because that's what they got big on, and so they're becoming bored of it, just like anybody who played it for years would. And yeah, they look back on those older Call of Duty games fondly because that's where they got their start. I mean, like anyone who started in the older games, they're gonna be more sentimental to them.
Do you think that, like, if this current game, though, like Black Ops 2, if it was any better, or even, going back to Modern Warfare 3, the game before it, was any better, that it would still be going as strong, though? I mean, can we blame it on one game, or is it just this series of franchise just worn itself out?
Yeah, if it's the same every year, it's going to wear itself out, obviously, but, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking.
well,
Oversaturated. Well, no, go ahead. Continue on. What did you go say?
Well, you can kind of see it in the sales that people, I don't know, like a lot of people came into the series at Modern Warfare 2. That's where like a huge jump was, like, because you look at the sales, Call of Duty 4, about 15 million, World at War about 12 million. You can add like a few million with the PC and DS and Wii and like all those extra stuff that don't sell nearly as much, but you add a little bit with those. But that's 15 and then 12, and then you jump to 24 million with Modern Warfare 2. That's like, they had this huge advertising. That's when they went crazy with it, because it was the sequel to Call of Duty 4, which did so well, and that's where the big jump was. So I think that a lot of people that came on at that time are now starting to get bored, which is why the sales might be going down now.
Are they going down? I don't think they are, though. I think with a series like Call of Duty,
They're
until it
just
collapses,
slowing
it's
down.
going to exponentially increase.
I thought they've been getting higher and higher with each game.
They're
getting higher, but it's not getting as high as it was before. It's starting to slow down.
It's peaked. Is that what you're saying? That there's a cap now on it? Just like, oh, it's not going to make any more than this much.
Yeah, because like you look at the sales, it goes from Modern Warfare 2. Well, the jump from Call of Duty 4 and World at War to Modern Warfare 2 is like double. Then you go to Black Ops, that's only adding 2 million to the overall sales. Then you go to Modern Warfare 3, that's adding 1.5 million. Then you go to Black Ops 2, that's subtracting 5 million, but that's because it hasn't been out as long, obviously. It's pretty much around the same sales, but if I go to this site that shows the launch month sales, you've got Call of Duty 4 doing 2 million, World at War doing 2 million, then massive jump, Modern Warfare 2 6 million, Black Ops 1 8 million, Modern Warfare 3 8.8 million, and then Black Ops 2 dropped back down to 7.4 million. So
that's when the rape started to happen of extra DLC, though. I used the word rape just because they're really just putting money tag onto damn near anything now.
Yeah, but they also started doing the microtransactions things. That's kind of a different topic that we did last week, but yeah, they are trying. They're definitely milking it, and I feel like people are aware of that, and they're dropping out. And there's also more competition now because Battlefield they're really pushing to try to overtake them, especially with Battlefield 3. They really pushed to be the top or whatever. And now they're doing it
too.
Yeah, now they're doing it.
I don't think
annually.
they ever intended to be like a COD killer with Battlefield 3 because that's basically impossible. But they've definitely inserted themselves. Like, I don't remember Battlefield being a huge series before Battlefield 3.
It was big, but it wasn't Call of Duty. Now it's basically...
That company had a pretty huge following, though, a cult following.
I'd say they're still pretty different.
Yeah.
What, you mean like sales-wise? What do you mean by different? Like the way they play? Obviously, they're way different.
Like, no gameplay-wise. It's not like a Call of Duty clone.
No, it's not supposed to.
It's more arcade-ish, but it's definitely not Call of Duty.
Did you say Battlefield's more arcade-ish than Call of Duty?
I think you have the
No, I'm saying it's
wrong
more arcade-ish than it used to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ironic, considering Bad Company 2 was pretty like cartoonish and less like serious, taking itself seriously than Battlefield 3. But yeah, it definitely became a bit more like watered down. Mm-hmm. But that's just the way the series is going, I guess.
So now you got this year with the PS4 and the next Xbox. How do you think this series, whatever, is gonna be able to make the gap without like losing like half of its sales or anything? I don't know.
It's kind of a guess right now, right? I mean, I don't know if you could say that we're just don't have enough information to really give it that. I mean, we're still kind of in the dawn of Modern Warfare 4. Is that what it is? Or no, Ghost. Jeez.
I'm lagging out.
But where Ghost is still has a lot of press to go into. You know, we don't know what that's going to look like. I started playing in PlayStation 3 when it first came out. Like, I had a choice. I was going to either buy Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty 4. And I bought both. But it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy both. And that's when I first started playing, and so I think I came in at a pretty good turn right there at Call of Duty 4. A lot of people say it's the best one, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fantastic game. And then the games after that, World at War and Modern Warfare 2 were very good. I enjoyed those, but it seems like the more and more this franchise kept on going down, the more stuff they added, the more oversaturated, and the more it's just like, it's just too much now. Yeah. And I just don't know what they're going to do, because it seems like Call of Duty's biggest enemy is itself.
See, when people always talk about how they've gotten worse, they get worse every year or whatever, I used to say that to an extent. World at War I've always said it's been my favorite, but
I never said worse, but that's there's just more. It keeps on.
Yeah, that's the point, though. I'm saying, like, usually the first game people play is the one that they say they like the best. That tends to hold true. Not always, but there's a lot of people that are always like, it just gets worse every year. There's no way to argue that. But I think that just comes down to, it's just because you keep playing it and you're getting more bored of it each year. Like, it's not the actual quality of the game. Technically, they're getting better. Technically.
Talking about quality, I can't remember if it was Infinity Ward or it was Activision as a whole who said it, but I know that they said for the next-gen consoles, they have a brand new engine coming out for the games, and so
that'll be exciting.
There's going to be
finally.
I noticeable difference between the two games. It's not going to be like the jump between Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3, where they just kind of updated the engine and made it a little bit more modern. Even though, to me, Modern Warfare 3 looked worse.
Yes, it did. Modern Warfare 2, I will always still say that. Even with Black Ops 2 out now, Modern Warfare 2 is the best looking one.
Easily.
I don't think it's so much graphics as to do with the art style. The art style is actually pretty vibrant in those games.
Right, those colors, everything just popped a little bit more, right?
The modern games industry hates colors. It's really the modern like brown is realistic shooter. It's colors, which is irritating.
The way I got into Call of Duty, I think the first one I played was maybe 3 or 2, but it was like on PS2, whichever one that one was.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember like really getting them. I got Medal of Honor, Rising Suns, and then I got one of the Call of Duties, and we just kind of played those and like, oh, this is fun, whatever, and we didn't really think about it because we were young kids. And then I remember the first online game I played was Halo 2, and that was cool, I guess, but I didn't really like it. And then I went to this place called Talk City, which was like a underground gaming place we had where you could just come in and they had like lock-ins every Friday where you just pay $20, you'd stay all night, and they had like 20 Xboxes linked up to TVs or movie screens, and they had like Rock Band and a bunch of PCs linked together, and it was really cool. And they give you food and stuff. And I remember my buddy was like, "Oh, you want to play Call of Duty 4?" I'm like, "What's that?" I mean, I played Call of Duty. Is it like Call of Duty 2? He's like, "Oh, I guess." And so we just like did a private match, split screen, and I was addicted to it. I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome." And I just played at my friend's house again after we were done. We just would play private matches in shipment, and I was just hooked on it. And so when the PS3 came out, because it wasn't even out yet when I first played it, we just started, like, I asked my mom, like, "Oh, can I please get this?" And I just started playing Call of Duty 4 from there, and that's just how I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like World at War at all. Like, I didn't even know World at War came out when it was already out, because I think I got COD 4 later on. And then I'm like, "Oh, there's a new one out? Oh, what's this like?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is stupid." And I just didn't play it at all. And then Modern Warfare 2, I remember being the biggest, like, other than Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I think Modern Warfare 2 is my biggest hyped game of all time. And, I mean, all my friends and I, we were just ridiculously hyped for it. And for the most part, it lived up to my expectations. Like, I loved it. I was in love with it for the entire first 6 months, and that's how I met you guys. I met Borg.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
even with all the glitches and all the problems that Modern Warfare 2 had at its initial launch?
No, I didn't even notice any of that stuff. Most of the glitches were on Xbox, and PS3 didn't really have a lot of playing shit, but I remember the biggest thing I remember
Javelin
was
glitch.
Javelin. Care package glitch.
Yeah, that too.
the only care package glitch I remember is being able to run faster and knife with it.
Yeah.
No, the what's it
You
called?
can call in. You can call in
The
care
escorts.
packages over and over and over again.
But that wasn't really at the beginning. I never saw that happen a lot at the beginning. That was
That
later.
was towards the end.
Yeah, that was later on.
Because I got into the series late, and I ended up like catching the tail end of that. My friend
used to
showed it
do
me
that.
before I got patched.
With Mike, or no, actually I did that normally. I would just play with all care packages and give them to Michael because he wasn't good at it yet.
I think there was another one, wasn't there, where you could like adjust the color correction or something like that, and helicopters would be like invisible on the mini map or something like that too.
What?
No, you can do like you know how you can just like the team color, so it'll instead of it being like red or it'll be orange or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
biggest
I'm
glitch,
pretty sure that's in all of them.
is it?
I don't know. Whatever. What do you
I
say?
know the biggest glitch I remember was it was like the first 2 weeks the game came out, and my buddy got an Xbox, and he's like, "Dude, come over right now." And I'm like, "Why? I'm playing Modern Warfare 2." He's like, "Come over." And so I come over, and he's playing on Wasteland, and the AC-130 had infinite ammo with no.
I remember that.
There was just this huge mushroom cloud of this guy constantly spamming the huge missile, and it was just ridiculous. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, watch this, and he puts on NoobTube, and he just holds down the shoe, and it's just firing rapid fire, like noob tubes everywhere. I was like, "Holy shit! Why is this on PS3?" It's like, I don't know. Someone just like hacked it. Every lobby is like this. Like, oh boy.
All right. Well, I guess we almost touched on this earlier, but I want to talk about it a little bit. You mentioned kind of with Battlefield. How is Call of Duty affecting other games? Like what I wrote down here, Resident Evil and Dead Space, for example. Maybe you can't directly relate it to just Call of Duty, but I mean, like, in general, games are getting more, like, action-y, I guess, And
I see where you're going. I was going
think
to go.
you can rule. Okay, you go
I was
first.
no, sorry. I was going to go for more of the variety where you have this solid game, and then if you just like, okay, well, if we take kind of the same thing and we just add like so much more to it, then we can put a 2 after it or a 3 after it, call it a sequel, and let people have it. That's what I think Call of Duty has its influence. And it's like, oh, well, same game, but let's just put more stuff onto it. Let's put more stuff that they can choose, more interface, more weapons, and yeah, that's what that and with the microtransactions too. But that's almost every game now.
I don't think it's fair to attribute that like completely to Call of Duty. It might just be a market trend. That's the way games are now. It's like just because Call of Duty was one of the first ones to do it doesn't mean it exactly caused that.
Well, that's
you're right. I agree. But it's a market leader though, and they
definitely
have influence, yeah.
Like these things didn't happen until Call of Duty became really big.
Yeah.
Like people didn't start like adding all this stuff in that's like Call of Duty until it came out.
You think about it. Dead Space 1 came out in 2008, which would be the year like just after Call of Duty 4 came out, so they didn't anticipate that success, obviously. They had no idea. And Dead Space had its own very niche thing. Whatever.
Sorry.
Everybody says it differently, and I always get confused, okay? It's just a horror game, right? And then Resident Evil, the same thing. 4 came out way before Call of Duty 4, but then 5, that's like 2009, I think, which gave them just enough time to realize, oh, look at Call of Duty 4. It's so actiony and fast-paced, and it's doing so well. It's selling millions. Maybe we should try to up our games, make them more fast-paced and fun. And then Dead Space 2 did the same thing. It went a little bit more actiony, and people didn't exactly like that. And then even more so with 3 and Resident Evil 6. They really just pushed that fast-paced action thing, and I don't. It kind of goes along with the timeline of when Call of Duty was getting popular.
An example I also like to bring up is like 2007 Halo 3 came out. It's just like Halo 1 and 2. And then Halo 4 came out last year, and it has loadouts and perks and everything and sprint. And you can't say that's not because of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You could.
Well, you can, but there's so many things that point to it being like, why wouldn't you
And
want
all
to?
the maps are brown.
Why wouldn't you want to copy what's doing the best? Like, I don't know.
But the thing is, Halo 4
Yeah.
did worse than any other game, so obviously it's not working to do
It
the
got really good
Call of
ratings.
Duty strategy. Yeah, but the population dropped. It's like at 20,000 a day now.
That could just be people getting tired of the series.
It's also in
It's
sixth
because
place.
everyone said the multiplayer for Halo 4 is bad compared to 3 and the rest.
Yeah, so obviously
3, 4,
trying to
3.
be Call of Duty doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't like the idea that games are trying to be more I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it more Call of Duty. Like, you've got games
Generic.
like Bullet Storm. That's just this crappy, dumb, fast-paced shooter, and it's like this game doesn't need to exist just because you can show a trailer and you're like shooting in 5 million different directions and running around. And
Bulletstorm was that I call it like the ADD shooter because it's like 10,000 things going on at once. I'm shooting some guys. A dinosaur comes out of nowhere. I got isn't it like he has like a power like with his hand or something like that? So you can do like
Bulletstorm is the one where the main thing about the game is that you can slide like for like a minute straight and just keep sliding while you're shooting. It's like, wait,
I think
get out of
that
here.
Bulletstorm was supposed to be a parody of the way the modern shooter was going, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, yes, you can't say like, "Look at this, this is terrible," because you're.
It wasn't
pointing at
still like
exactly.
serious and like this. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna say yes or
Was
no.
it-
'Cause I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, I don't know either, but
that was the guy who made Gears of War, right? He made Bulletstorm. Is that right on that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Epic
it was Epic. Yeah.
Cliff Blazinski.
Yes,
Epic.
it is. It is Epic Games. Yes.
Well, you've also got Battlefield going annual to compete. You've got games like Medal of Honor that came back, reboot, and they're trying to. I mean, they already were the same kind of game as Call of Duty, at least like last generation. They were basically like the same thing. But now it comes back and nobody likes it because it's just being so generic. Like, you don't need all these games. And then you've got a game like BioShock where, or at least BioShock Infinite, that, whatever his name, Ken Levine is talking about, like, he knows it being a shooter isn't the best for it, but in order for it to sell, it needs to be, which is really kind of depressing.
I don't really think so, because he's done a bunch of other games that weren't shooters.
He was talking about the box art. It's like it has to have a Musk, like a dude with a shotgun on the box. It'll sell more copies that way.
What's it like? I thought debris, right? You need to have debris. You need to have some sort of action.
Just a guy chin down,
walking away from explosions,
blue and orange and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's actually like a passable marketing strategy, I guess. Because the way he justified it was all the core gamers, like the people who play games and enjoy it and aren't just like Call of Duty bros, know about BioShock already, and they'll be interested if they're interested. But the bro gamers that you just go to a frat and ask them, hey, you ever heard of BioShock? They'll be like, what? That's not Call of Duty. And so, like, you don't need to appeal to the core gamers that already know BioShock exists and probably know that a new one is coming out because they follow that kind of thing.
All right.
I think that's justifiable. Whether it's watered down, it probably was, but BioShock was watered down as well, and it was a fantastic game. So I don't really like the direction the gameplay is going, but I don't know.
But I mean, like, you're buying Call of Duty for the multiplayer. I mean, you're buying BioShock specifically for the story, for the single player. Mm-hmm. You know, so
the gameplay in BioShock games is always interesting too, I think. Yeah. But yeah, I understand that the main point is the story.
Mm-hmm. One series I think is like capturing the essence of Call of Duty entirely is Assassin's Creed. Because Assassin's Creed started out like great. Like 1 was okay, it was repetitive, but 2 was just perfect. Like it was like it's my favorite of the series. It was just fantastic. And then Brotherhood came out, and that was okay.
That's when they started going annual.
It introduced multiplayer, and I love the multiplayer for Assassin's Creed. I know some people don't, but I think it's almost perfect. And then Revelations was pushing the envelope, but it had some cool stuff. And then 3 was just the shit storm of horrible. It was one of the worst games I ever played in my life. I could not find anything about that game redeemable. I had to like trick myself while I'm playing and think like, oh, this is a good game. I like this. And
I thought it was passable till the ending. I was just like, oh, fucking hell.
I can't pretend anymore. This was shit. This was fucking horrible.
So what do you say?
Like with Call of Duty though, were they just like, oh well, this game sucks, but I'm going to keep on playing it anyway, just because I'm going to tell myself.
Yes.
It's a good game.
A lot of people are buying Assassin's Creed for the brand now because I mean, it's just not the same game it used to be. I mean, even like I remember I got in an argument with someone. We were talking about, was it Revelations that he got the hook.
Don't want to get too in depth about like Assassin's Creed, but sure.
I know it's not like in depth, but we're talking about like gimmicks and shit, like Call of Duty is doing. Like I remember we were talking about the hook, and they're like, "Oh, it's a new thing that lets you jump higher." I'm like, "No, it fucking doesn't." About it. All they did is raise the building, which makes the hook even relevant. If they just kept it the same sizes as the old games, it's the same fucking thing. It's making you seem like you're doing something new.
Oh my god. Oh man. Oh crap. Now I figured out what I was gonna say.
Well, when you were talking about it earlier, like people are buying it just for the franchise. That's really true. Like when you come out with a really great game that just like it's one of the first in the IPs, and it just blows like a lot of other games out of the water, then a lot of times that series is just going to go downhill. But people will still buy it just for the brand name. Like ever since Modern Warfare 2, like I've been paying for Call of Duty games just in the hope that it'll be like Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4 or World at War. And that's like that sense of hope that the original games will be similar to like the new games has gotten like $180 out of my wallet, because I bought Black Ops hoping it'd be better, Modern Warfare 2 hoping that they'd capitalize on mistakes of Black Ops, and then Black Ops 2 just to like as a last ditch effort, even though I really didn't want to buy it.
Keep telling yourself whatever you need to help you warrant your $60, your $120 purchase for that piece of shit game, right? But it's become like a part of this social aspect now too, where you're buying it just because everyone else is buying it, and you can talk to some, you can meet new people from it. I mean,
you can yell at new people.
Yeah, exactly. How else am I going to yell?
You can tell new people that you fuck their moms.
The reason I even bought the first Black Ops because I did not want to buy the first Black Ops. I was so against it, and Christmas came by, and Jesse, Shep, and everyone was like, "Dude, you gotta buy it. Go and buy it." I'm like, "Fine, I'll fucking ask for it for Christmas." So I got it for Christmas, and then you all quit, and you're like, "Now I don't like this anymore." So I fucking played by myself, and then you're like, "Oh, Black Ops, let's play that again for nostalgia." We played a little bit, and you just fucking quit again.
Yeah, that's one thing that I find really negative about the game is that people buy it for like the wrong reasons. They don't buy it because they truly enjoy the game. They're either buying it because their friends are, they're buying it because they can
truly enjoy the game, right? mean,
Well, yes.
Don't buy Call of Duty
I'd-
and play it alone.
Yeah.
I'd buy like a cheese sorting simulator if everyone on the planet was buying it, and I could play it with
Yeah.
any of my friends.
I
at any
know.
given moment.
That's what I'm saying,
That's
though.
that's a valid reason to buy the game.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm saying that in general, that really isn't a good reason to buy a game and to commit to a certain series.
Well, it is, because if your friends are playing it, then that's a bonus. I
Well,
mean,
not
it's
for
not
the
a bonus
industry.
that was programmed
It's not a
into the game, but it's still a bonus from the game nonetheless.
Yeah.
It's also the reason why the Xbox has sold so much. I mean,
Yeah.
the Xbox was a good console, but let's face it, when it first came out, it was fucking terrible. I mean, they lit on fire, for God's sake.
I still don't like it. I still don't. My PlayStation's out here. I have two. Both my PlayStations are out, ready to go. And the Xbox is it's in a box. Xbox got Xbox.
Did you put an X on it and say no?
Yeah, double Xbox.
Tape it with an X.
Double X.
Oh, crap. Okay, I'm trying to think of this one reason that everyone always gives, or this one thing that people always say to me, but I can't think of it. Crap.
My friends had it. That's the reason I always
No,
say
no,
it.
no.
Keep on going. You'll get there.
I'll get there. I need to
I
think
know you
about
can.
this.
I believe in you.
Let's take a 15-minute break.
Let's take an intermission.
It's hard to think about it while talking because I can't scour my brain for.
Don't talk unless someone else
Oh
talks.
yeah.
Can I ask
Don't
anyone
speak unless you're
what
spoken to.
what was the last Call of Duty game that you actually said, yeah, that was worth it? That was worth the $60. That was
Modern
worth me
Warfare 2.
waiting in line.
Black
Modern Warfare
Ops, the first one.
Well, it depends. I haven't paid for any Call of Duty except for Black Ops 2. Like, literally.
Oh, well then, yeah, $0 given right there. Why?
Well, I mean,
If you're getting the game for free, then
yeah,
Well, no,
COD's
he
one of
stole
my
it.
favorite Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 I was going to buy myself, but my brother came home from Iraq and just randomly bought me the fucking Prestige edition. And so, oh, okay, cool. Like, I just walked up to buy it, and he's just like, I'll pay for it. Okay. But we waited in line at midnight for it. And then Black Ops, I asked for Christmas, so I didn't want to buy it. Modern Warfare 3, I did ask for I think my birthday or something. And I got that because I wanted to finish the story because I love the Modern Warfare story. And so I actually wanted that. I didn't care about the multiplayer, but I fucking played with these assholes.
I thought of the thing that I hate hearing, and I hear it every year. Usually, well, at least when I was playing, usually around March, April, May, when people are getting like bored of the game because that's all they play, like I was doing for a couple of years. And you get to that point, and then people always start saying, well, hopefully the next one will be good.
I know.
Just don't
the whole
buy it. That's not you don't have to buy the next one. It's like everybody always implies that's the only thing they're going to be buying, and they have to buy it. And
the
it's
incentive
so
to
annoying.
buy the next one is so crazy. What if you pre-order Ghost now? Then what do you get in Black Ops 2? You get what? Some titles, a
You get-
camo.
That's amazing.
Innovation!
I need that.
That didn't happen back when I guess the big thing was when Modern Warfare 2 to Black Ops. Everyone was like, "Oh, there's so many glitches. There's so many like grenade launchers and commando. Everything sucks about this game. Hopefully the next one's good." No, just don't buy it. You don't need to keep playing these. Like, there's so many people that think that that's the only thing they're like committed to only buying that every year. Maybe FIFA or Madden too.
There was a lot of mayhem though. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, that they
Yeah.
upped
Well-
the kill streaks in that one, right? They gave you
That-
the first one where it was more than just the traditional 3, right?
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier. You said that the games are becoming like oversaturated with content. Well, I kind of agree, kind of disagree. Like, there isn't much content in Call of Duty games. It's basically the multiplayer attacked on single player, and that's it. But I think it's getting like they've tried to add so many nuances to the multiplayer to like put on the back of the box that they've like covered up the core of the series, which has always been really good gunplay. And Modern Warfare 2 was the start of that. I mean, I loved Modern Warfare 2, but getting smashed by a chopper gunner a million times in a row was not fun. And that's returned in every single other game. And if you just either like toned down the kill streaks or completely like returned it to the original like 357 kind of thing where you have like UAV
At least a
airstrike and
playlist,
chopper.
right?
Yeah, there's a playlist like that, but nobody plays it because they all want their kill streaks and stuff, and that's what people play it for now. They play to get a bunch of kills with their
What-
kill streaks instead of
What
actually using their
playlist
gun.
is that? Because I know that there's a new
Bare
playlist
bones.
out right. Oh, okay. Wait, is that no kill streaks though, or is that just the traditional 3, 5, 7?
Yeah.
They keep like trying to purify it by it never becomes like
canon.
Well, there's classic bare bones, but they're usually really empty.
What they
have,
need
like,
to do
3,
is
5, 7.
Where there's no perks or anything, right? I mean, it's just all
That
done.
too, yeah. That's kind of irritating. Why can't they just make a game mode which converts it into what Call of Duty 4 and stuff was?
People are always trying to give suggestions for how they can make the next one better, but they could just stop making them. That would be nice. I mean,
Well, it's not even just the kill streaks too. Now you have more gun attachments. Now you can run multiple perks. You can run 6 perks now. You know, instead of just 3.
I don't know, because they're always trying to make it. They have to grab you with their reveal and be like, "This one's bigger and better." Yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're just adding a bunch of unnecessary
See,
content.
Honestly, with pretty much with Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3, the reason I stopped playing them is because I was like, I don't like this anymore. Fair enough. Black Ops 2, I actually stopped playing it faster than I stopped playing the other ones, but it wasn't because I didn't like it. I just was bored of the series. I was like, I don't need to keep playing this. I've had enough. Like, there's no reason for me to keep playing this, and I just stopped.
It wasn't any feature
No.
or in
Like,
the
I
game.
don't have like a big problem with the game. I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? This one I liked it better than the past few. Pretty much, I'm fine with the game. I'm not going to complain about the gameplay. I just think that it needs to stop existing. I just had enough with it. I don't want to. Just go away.
Just take a break, right?
Yeah,
just
I
1
guess.
year off, and just maybe
I hope not.
Spend some time with the kids, you know. Just,
Speaking of kids,
Perfect segue.
I was
Speaking
hoping
of small children, Call of Duty.
I wanted to get at least one good segue in here. So I just wrote down for this topic: kids playing. Why do parents allow this? So why are there so many kids playing this game, and why is it
It's the
such
cool
a
thing to do.
Well,
Done.
yeah, I guess.
well, because
I don't think it's as bad as you think it is, to be honest.
It's just the cool thing to do. It's what everyone else is playing. That's basically all it is.
But
maybe it's because all the kids
my
have
big
mics.
brother's playing it, so I have to play it.
But like, for me, it annoys me because like when my nephew comes over, he's, well, I don't know. I think he might be 9 now, but it's been happening for a couple of years. Like when he was 7 or 8, he'd come over and he'd be like, "Oh, do you have the new Call of Duty?" I'm like,
Yes.
I just want to like hit him and like
No,
say,
please.
"Stop! You shouldn't know what this is." And like he would like I don't know. He'd like walk around, pretend like he has a gun, and shoot me. I'm like, "Why are you doing this?"
Go away.
Wow,
Like, no, you should.
normal, right?
You should be running around pretending you're jumping on Goombas.
Kids
Come on.
have been doing that all, like, since guns were invented. Seriously.
Yeah, that's true.
But
They've been playing cops and robbers in the 70s and things
I
like
guess,
that before games
but,
existed.
like, it just annoys
What-
me.
It wasn't as
It's-
bad though.
There's peer pressure, though. I mean, I think we all can. We
Yeah.
mentioned this earlier, right? Where it's say that if you don't buy the game, and then everyone you know has the game, and then they're going to pressure you more into it, and why wouldn't it be the same for underage children?
I don't know. It just kind of
Call
feels
of Duty
weird
is
to me.
just so big that it's exposed to everyone.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows about it at this point.
It just feels weird to me that kids now are growing up with a game about shooting people instead of the games that like I grew up with or that anyone else grew up with. I don't know. It kind of bothers me.
That might just be parents caving in, though, and just be like, "All right, kid, if I give it to you, then will you shut
Will
up?"
you please shut up?
That's true.
Parents have always been doing that. You know,
Yeah,
I
but at
grew up
least
on
it was
games,
for
basically.
games that weren't like violent, and you weren't. The problem isn't about the violence for me. It's just that you're going online and you're talking to like 40-year-olds that are just screaming horrible things at you. It's like what?
40-year-olds.
I don't know, like anybody, everybody just yells horrible things online. It's like
I don't
kids
know,
really don't need to be hearing this.
I just want to point out that that's what happened in elementary school for me before Call of Duty was even released, before online games
40-year-olds.
became big. That's all. Yeah.
I mean, your
No,
house.
not 40-year-olds. I mean children yelling at each other. Yeah, people were saying the worst of the worst swears in 3rd grade, honestly.
Not for
I mean,
me.
it's-
I
it's
didn't
not-
hear anything bad till
I mean,
grade
it
9.
was-
Oh, it's something new every time I log on.
We got like put in the corner for saying "shut up." That was like a bad word in my elementary school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you got caught, obviously you were punished severely because people don't want you to say things like that, but people said them anyway.
But
Go
no, I
to a
mean,
lobby with pen and paper because I want to learn some new words.
well, no, I mean, I didn't even like hear "fuck" until like middle school.
Yeah, neither did I.
I remember
Serious?
the very. I mean,
Where did you grow up?
I probably heard it, but I didn't know what it was. But I remember the very first time that I recognized a swear word in a video game was Jack 2. I picked it up. It's when he breaks out of the cage and he goes, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, "Oh man, this game doesn't fuck around." I'm like, "What's the envelope on this? Why isn't this M?"
You are the Jack 2 core audience.
And then I think later he said ass. And I'm like, this game is really fucking going hardcore. I better not let my mom see me play this.
Just imagine if you ever played GTA.
Alright.
Yeah, my dad tried to let me play GTA when I was, I want to say 9 or 10, seriously. Yeah, swears have never been a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, I convinced my mom to buy Grand Theft Auto 3 for me when I was like 12, and I opened it up on Christmas Day, and I'm like, oh, cool, I still got it, yay, I knew I got this, and I played it, and she's watching me play, and I light a hooker on fire and beat her face like that, and she's like, oh my god, what is this? I'm like, it's this game you just bought me, and she's like, I bought you this? I'm like, yeah, it's there.
It's called Grand Theft Auto, how does that not clue her in?
Felony.
That's the thing, though. Parents just don't even look at things anymore. I mean, parents care about movies because it's still relevant, and this is why this is what a big part of my speech was in public speaking, is how games are a much bigger part of the world now than they used to be. I mean, when our parents were our age or older, games were just like Mario jumping around Goomba. You can't simulate a man dying really in 8-bit era and stuff like that. It's not really as impressionable. And I remember when I worked at GameStop. This big hulking motherfucker walks in, and he has this tiny little boy, and this kid must have been 6 years old. He looked just like me, and is just so happy to be in a game store. And this guy is like, yeah, I need the new Call of Duty. So I'm like, oh, okay. I figure he's buying it for him or for his older son because it's around Christmas time. And I pull up Black Ops 2. I'm like, is this one you wanted? And he goes, this is what you wanted, son? And he looks at the 6-year-old, and the kid's like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm like, wait, you're getting this for him? And he was like, yeah, it's what the kid wants. I'm like, this is M for mature, right? I mean, there's lots of violence in this, and online they swear a lot. He's like, oh, whatever. I mean, it's what the kid wants. It's what he wants for Christmas. So I gotta give him.
Yeah, that's a father right there.
I'm like, yeah, there's plenty of, you could get him a 3DS. There's plenty of, Mario or Pokemon or Zelda. I mean, that's more for his age. No, he wants Call of Duty.
Yep, and it's the game's violence fault. For people going around killing people, yeah.
Well, the parents aren't responsible. God forbid, they're not responsible.
Yeah,
I blame the internet.
We're required to warn them if we know that they're buying it for a kid. We're required to tell them this is a very violent game. You don't just fucking buy. You wouldn't buy a 6-year-old Far Cry 3 if you knew it was in it, unless you're the fucking worst parent of the year.
Let me ask you this then, because the next gen consoles, this feature that or one of many that they are trying to highlight is this live stream ability, right? And Black Ops 2 is already doing it now. And so when they have this release, and they obviously, they'll be after all the bug fixes and stuff like that, and they'll perfect it a little bit more, where everyone playing is now streaming online continuously. Now you have double a Call of Duty. It's on it's on one screen, it's on another screen, and so you have just surrounded by it. So why would there be an age limit when everywhere you look, it's there? You have 3 screens on it. You have a television screen, commercials, you have your computer screen, and then the TV that you're playing on. Call of Duty everywhere you go.
Yeah, makes me sick. I feel sick.
It's just a fad. It'll pass, like Guitar Hero did.
You hope so.
And Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Activision is pretty good at killing things. Except, I don't know. Whatever.
All Titans must fall.
So, the other thing that I wanted to mention was, I've actually thought about this a few times, why I liked Call of Duty so much. And I think I figured it out. Didn't have to think very hard. It is not because I always tell people, at least now, that I'm not a huge fan of shooters, and I never really was, even while playing Call of Duty. I'm not playing it because it's a shooter. I realized that I liked it so much because of the RPG elements, because I love RPGs, and it's the leveling system, and my thought is that people got into it so easily from the jump from Call of Duty 3 to 4 was because of the RPG elements, because it's addicting, and I really think that those games are very addicting, and I was addicted to it for 2-3 years, and yeah.
The unlockables, right, where you have to play to unlock, and now
in
Black Ops you can just kind of unlock fucking anything, and you can pay to unlock, and
yeah, it's the whole leveling up thing is really why I think it got popular. It's not necessarily I guess some people are a fan of shooters because they're shooters, but that's not me. It's not like I love shooters or anything. I played it because of the leveling up, and I just wanted to play it again so I could level up more. and you just couldn't stop playing so that I could be the highest level. I don't know.
I think it was more the online interaction. I mean,
too.
Yeah, because Call of Duty 4 was right at the height of online gaming, where you have Xbox 360 and that PlayStation. That they just come out, and then they have Call of Duty 4 come out, and they can both be played online, and now you can talk to your friends and kick some ass at the same time.
Well, I think another one of the things is when Call of Duty 4 first came out and it was big, or rather the online sections of Call of Duty, first-person games weren't a huge thing. Like, they were relatively new to a point. I mean, I know that there were some out. It's just that
mainly PC stuff.
Yeah. They all had like a type of learning curve, but Call of Duty was simple. Anyone could pick it up and be relatively good at it and just play. It was basically like just you play and you win, kind of. I mean, unless you're like god awful and you go like 0-16 every game, then you're gonna be like kind of. Even then, it's still kind of an addiction. It's still kind of fun. Like I remember because I didn't
you want to get better.
Yeah, I didn't play online. I played private match first, and I was addicted from that. It was just fun to play around with friends, and we were all having fun. Which I think that's like the kind of deal because. It's like a party game in a way. You can play with friends, and that's how I think a lot of people got addicted to a point, because not a lot of people had online for some points, but it was just something that when you got into a private match, you didn't have to have amazing skills to come in and compete with your friends. Even if your friend owned it for a long time, you could still be almost as good as them, because that's how I played Call of Duty 4. My friend had already played it for like 6 months, and I just picked a random class, and I won with like a good 20-point lead. And I was just like spraying and like have no idea what I was doing. It's just like an idea that you can still do good even if you're brand new. But if you get really good and you harden your skills, you can like master the game basically.
Alright, well, there's one more thing. Kind of a question. Maybe a suggestion. Who knows? Basically do you think that Call of Duty would be able to pull off going just multiplayer?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
It depends if they charge the same amount of money for it.
Or at least, well, okay, obviously they could pull off, that was a bad question, they can obviously do that, but I'm saying like selling them separately from the single player. Do you think that would be
single player.
do you think that would be
exactly.
smart
I'd be
for
surprised
Activision,
if-
or would it be smarter
They
for them
would
to
lose
just drop
money
it?
because they'd have to ship discs separately. They'd be losing money.
So it would be smarter to just drop single player, not split them.
Or just keep it all
I
on
guess,
one.
but
Maybe
don't know.
pumping
Some people
resources
still do
or
like the
something
single player.
would buy.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that they would. I think they would keep them both together still. They would just have like a multi-game disc now. So now you have a Call of Duty game that has single player, you have multiplayer, the traditional stuff, and then you have that added stuff, which they're doing now, right? Spec Ops, Zombies, and probably more elaborate to that. They could probably branch off and sell that game separately, like a Zombies game or a Spec Ops separately.
yeah.
But probably not this. I mean, they would leave the single player in.
2 Call of Duty games a year, yeah. Oh, alright.
That was creepy.
Yeah, well, they are creepy. They scare me. Anything
They
else?
scare you.
Oh, wait, Train, didn't you say you had something about a reason you think it's good or something?
Yeah, like to a point, I think Call of Duty, not anymore since I'm not big into it as much, but for the most part, I liked Call of Duty mainly because it wasn't something that I wanted to play every day. It was something to pass the time while I waited for other games to come out. Like if I had beaten Uncharted and I was waiting for Uncharted 2 to come out, I didn't want to just
That's
sit there.
a long wait.
I know, but it's like not just sitting there like drooling in my room waiting for the new game to come out. I'm like, oh, well, Call of Duty lasts forever. I can play that and while I'm waiting, and it's still fun because my friends still play it.
Yeah.
But that's just like a minimum thing. Like, I think the biggest thing about Call of Duty, the reason why I still play it at all, is because it's a big stress reliever. And I know it's going to sound weird, but it's because nothing pisses me off more than Call of Duty, really. Because when I play that, I get to the point where I'm like, I never throw controllers. I never understand people who throw controllers. It's just stupid. But I get angry, and I just want to fucking murder someone who walks in my room. But it gets me so pissed off that whatever I was angry about before I started playing... And it's much easier to just stop caring about Call of Duty than it is to care about, like, oh, I got grounded for setting the neighbor's cat on fire or something like that.
That's typically difficult to get over.
Some 9-year-old and then drop that and then you're happy again. You know, I mean, I think I'm a much calmer person because of Call of Duty.
I don't think like it's a good game per se. I think it's polished its mechanics well, but there's not much there. I think like I'll focus on like why it's popular, not necessarily why it's good. One, it's popular because it's popular. I mean, like you can hop on the game and guarantee that at least like 3 of your friends are playing it or something like that, which is pretty hard to say of most games, and that's the more obvious one. But two, Call of Duty came out at a time where online games, or more specifically online first-person shooters on console, weren't really a big thing, and it just like basically cornered the market on it, and it became like the alpha and the omega. It was the first-person shooter and stuff like that, and it really capitalized on that like fresh market. If it had come out like a few years ago, I guarantee it wouldn't have. I mean, yeah, I guarantee it wouldn't have been as popular as if it had come out like just when the new consoles were being released.
Something that makes it so popular, and it goes back to being good at it, is how simple the controls are. Like, Call of Duty kind of simplified the entire FPS market by making controls that anyone can pick up and learn within minutes. And there's no, like, because even now, like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I actually, like, enjoy Call of Duty's controls. It's really easy to understand. I'm not saying that everyone should do it, but, like, I think more, like, all shooter games in general should have the same layout, because more times than one, I will pick up like a game brand new, like trying to remember what game it was. Maybe it was Crisis or something like that. Crisis I understand because it's a complicated PC game put onto a console. That's not a good example, but something was like R2 is crouch, and like, this is fucking stupid. I don't want to crouch. This is supposed to be throw a grenade, and it's just like that standard because everyone plays it and everyone remembers it as that. And some games don't let you remap the buttons, and so that gets really annoying, and it makes people uninclined to play that game because they don't want to learn this and then go back to Call of Duty and have to relearn this shit every time they switch between games. And I mean, I think that the formula they have for controls for Call of Duty is just perfect. It's smooth. It works. You know, why try to complicate it unless you're going to have a really complicated game?
Right. Well, to end on a positive note, I have one thing that I can thank Call of Duty for, I guess, or say that it's actually a positive thing.
Channel.
What? No.
Channel.
No.
Ad revenue.
No. The fact that so many people have picked up Call of Duty that normally wouldn't have bought a big gaming system, so they get themselves into games, even if most of them aren't going to even spread their money to other developers and other games. At least some of them will, and some of them will go off and branch and make the gaming market like bigger. So that's a good thing. They get into it. People that normally wouldn't have gotten into it got into it because of its simplicity and playing with their friends and stuff. And then maybe they're like, oh, this Uncharted game, that's cool. I don't know, like, they don't know who Naughty Dog is. They're not really into gaming and stuff, but maybe they'll spread their money a little bit more and make the gaming world a little bit bigger. So that's nice.
One thing that it reminds me of is, like, a lot of the jocks, I would always get angry because all the jocks only play Call of Duty. Like, all these guys who are like, oh yeah, I game a lot, I only play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But then one thing I noticed is when Skyrim came out, all of these people who play Call of Duty, they all bought Skyrim. I'm like, wait, why are you interested in this? This isn't Call of Duty, why do you care? And it's like, I don't know, it was kind of cool. And then I started talking to more of these guys who I would never associate myself with because they don't play the games I do. And I'm telling them about these different games like Uncharted or, I don't know, what other kind of games. And like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. And then they start picking up Assassin's Creed and other games, and they start to branch out more. They're not just playing Call of Duty anymore. And instead it's just the 9-year-olds, like the little kids who play them only. And
Yeah.
I know,
But
it's
that's
like,
different, man. That's everyone. Everyone is a gamer now. There was a point where being a gamer, it was a different group. That was a table in the lunchroom.
Yeah.
You know, now everyone's a gamer, and it's only like, oh, well, what type of gamer are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Call of Duty is a brilliant gateway drug, though. Like, it's how I got started on the modern, like, generation of consoles. Like, I probably would have been content playing my PS2 and Game Boy and N64 for life if I hadn't picked up Call of Duty on the Wii and then transitioned to the PS3. RPGs I've never really been interested in. At least JRPGs.
my PS2, the first game I played was Ratchet and Clank, and that's what got me into
Oh, Ratchet and Clank life, dude. That is my shit.
Ratchet and Clank. Got me into platformers.
This is how we're going to end.
Whoa. I was trying to end it on a positive Call of Duty note. Now we're talking about
Well,
Ratchet
this is a good positive Call of Duty note. Ratchet
Yeah,
and Clank.
Call of Duty does not have a movie coming out, but Ratchet and Clank does.
What else has guns? Ratchet and Clank. Let's talk about that. Brilliant.
Jack 2 also has guns.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You know what else also has guns? Me.
Double gas.
I feel horrible. I need to end this right now.
I should say Dark Souls.
Ah, yes, you mentioned it. Yes. So, everybody go buy Dark Souls. The end.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go trade it in right now.
I'm gonna buy it and then sell it.
At least you bought it. So that's the end of this Call of Duty podcast. I hope you had fun tickling your senses. See ya. Again. That sounded more like static than anything else, but alright.
Was that the Wilhelm scream?